Well, how do you answer that? Because you hear that you hear that from atheists, you hear that from skeptics, you hear that from believers that, well, if God is loving,
Right.
then why do bad things happen? You know, what about the woman that was abused? What about the child that was molested?
Right.
What about the cancers and stuff? Would a loving God do something like that?
Well, and I think it was a book that was written, and C.S. Lewis said that the greatest argument for atheism is pain.
Yeah.
And because if God loved us, I wouldn't face that. Yet Jesus said, and he told us, he said, I've overcome the world, but you will face things in this world.
Yeah. Tribulation.
Tribulations and trials. And I always say this, that the spirit of this age makes sin seem normal and righteousness strange.
That's
so
right.
anytime you try to incorporate God, and they're facing all this stuff, because I believe in healing. I have a whole chapter on healing in my book. But they'll go, but I lost my house in this economy, or I've been through this, or the tsunami hit, or all these kind of things. And I have to say to people, but what you have to understand is, God hasn't gone anywhere. I had to write an article for the Newtown shooting. Here's a great example. Yeah. And they asked me, would you write an article? And I wrote, was God on vacation? Because where was God at when those 20 children lost their lives when that madman killed them?
That's what people are asking, yeah.
And I told him, I said, he was on a plane with me as I was reading it on my iPad flying from California. As I was weeping, reading it. He was in that room with those babies as he walked them into heaven. But we live in a fallen nature.
That's right.
And we live in a bad world. But the difference is, God's right here with us. He's walking right here beside us.